We switched from RESimpli back to Podio this week, and I'm just going to touch on a little bit of our experience with RESimpli. We've talked about it some on the podcast before. We've had some listeners who have tried it, and just want to share my experience briefly. For me, I would give them like a 2.5 to 3 out of 10 for their platform. I think it's difficult to learn, and I think the logic is different or doesn't work for my brain, and I think it didn't support our land deals very well. And I don't like the way that they partition buyers and sellers and vendors, and each one of those segments of your contacts in your system can only do certain things, and you can only communicate with them with dedicated phone numbers for that category. Like buyers have buyer phone numbers, sellers have seller phone numbers, as opposed to Podio, where we use Just Call or smartphone, and each team member has their own phone number, and you can talk to people, buyers or sellers or whoever you want to, with that phone number. Same thing with like having the buyers segregated, and then you can attach offers to buyers, which is cool. But you can't attach offers to vendors. And if a real estate agent is a vendor and they're making you an offer, then how does that work? That was a frustration. I would say um, the, trying to be positive about something. The integration with the calling and texting is good there. The platform is clean. Visually, it's very clean. Their deal flow is very different than what we experienced on Podio. So they expect you to convert your mindset to the way they see deals flowing. And so if you're doing this like it's your first CRM, it's probably fine because you just get your mindset around how their system works, and it might be great. But if you're coming from another platform, then I would say definitely do a trial and see how they think about things and how their deals flow and how they treat leads and everything, because it is different than Podio. It's different than Forefront, which I've used, and I've checked out other platforms too. A big ding against them is their customer service is really poor. Their people are very friendly and very responsive, but they don't know anything. And what they do is they have people who get back to you immediately and say, "We got your message. We're working on it." But then they take a couple of days to work on it in many cases because they're farming out any tech related questions to their team in India who handles that stuff. And they're on a different schedule. They're in a different time zone. And a lot of the people who respond to you on the platform don't know the answer to your question or how to fix it. And so I found I was more lucky just going to like ChatGPT and asking for answers to my questions than going to their support. We did have one dedicated account representative who was great, and he knew a lot about the platform. And when we got on a Zoom call with him, he was very helpful, and he did respond to emails. So I will say that that's great, but they do want you to pay extra for white glove service and for dedicated representatives. So it's not included in your plan. They want you to pay $2,000 for white glove onboarding. They took 3 weeks to get our seller leads onboarded. 3 weeks. I mean, I could format a list and map the fields and upload it in a day or two. I don't know why it took them 3 weeks to figure that out. So that was frustrating. And we did two separate 2 week free trials, and then we did 2 paid weeks also after our second trial. So I've got 6 weeks of experience, and it's not for me, but it might be for somebody who wants an all-in-one solution and who is doing their first CRM, where you're going to just adopt their logic and their um, way of working deals. But I would say definitely do a trial and check it out. And sorry, I can't be kinder with them. I mean, they do have, like I said, the calling and the texting is great. They've got a lot of cool integration, and you know, they have a calculator in there for analyzing your deals, which is great. And they have very, very nice fields for, filling in your contacts, stuff like that. I mean, it's a clean user interface. I would say it's nice in that way. And it could be, I'm not saying Podio is great because that's what we have, but Podio has its own foibles, but at least we know how to use it. And that's what we're doing is returning to Podio, but we're having a custom Podio built for us because our other one was broken. And we're going to stick to what we know, but upgrade it. And if you have any questions or thoughts about RESimpli, drop them in the comments, and I can answer any questions from my experience, or you can tell me you're having a great experience or anything else. Let me just see if we have any questions on this one. What are you switching to? I already covered that. For wholesalers evaluating CRMs, what should they prioritize based on your experience with this switch? That's a good question. I would just say, just prioritize making sure that the platform you're using fits for the way you run your business, right? And that's the one thing about Podio that I like. And I'm not, an affiliate of Podio or anything, but my son and I both use it. And one of the reasons we like it is because it is kind of endlessly customizable based on the way you run your business. So you can really make it fit your business like a glove in terms of the apps you use and the workflows you use and even the fields you have within your apps. Very customizable. And that's a good thing. So I would say just make sure that the CRM you choose fits your business and the way you work.